Am I the asshole for stealing ducks from small children? Disclaimer: this is a very British and polite post, not a serious issue. I live near a duck pond that has one population of ducks. When there's food, they all go to the same place, they don't split and go to different people. I regularly feed these ducks, but today when I got to the pond there was a group of adults and children putting out seed already. No issue, I politely wait on the other side of the pond and take some pictures of other wildlife. Then the screams start. No one is being tragically murdered, the kids are shouting for the ducks to do something, and running towards them when they do come on land. This is super not okay for me, so I threw down duck food on my side of the pond and hijacked the little buttes. Mother of the brats loudly exclaimed to father of the brats that I was a bit bloody cheeky, and stole the ducks from her kids. Loud enough for me to hear, but obviously not aimed at me. Polite and British, no confrontation. I understand I did steal them, but I just don't like children being taught it's okay to harass animals. Am I the asshole for duck stealing? Edit. Unsolicited duck pic on my profile. Extra edit. I wasn't expecting so many people to appreciate duck tales. Thank you for the awards, and thank you comments which have made me laugh so much. For those of you saying we shouldn't feed ducks, so I'm an asshole for that, it's absolutely not frowned upon to feed ducks in the UK provided you are feeding them the right stuff. Check the RSPB website, or your country's equivalent, for a full list of duck-friendly food, and obviously respect the duck's personal space. To be honest, that kind of politeness is the most annoying part of the British culture. Not the asshole. Parents should always teach kids to be respectful to animals. Info. By hijacked, do you mean you threw down seed to encourage them to waddle over to your side of the pond? Not the asshole, you diverted the ducks away from what could have been a bad scene. Not the asshole for the ducks preferring someone quiet and offering them food over screaming kids running at them. If the parents are smart, they'll come back and instruct the kids to be calm and quiet, and maybe they can have their company. Not the asshole. Rescuing the ducks from a group of little twits can hardly be considered assholery. Not the asshole. Those kids suck and their parents are worse. The other day I was out walking and rerouted myself to avoid an on-edge swan. On the way back, adults were allowing their small children to approach the same swan. Two ran away when it started to get agitated, but the third kid, who was old enough to know better, kept going toward it, and God, how I wished it had just launched itself at him to maybe teach them all a lesson. Not the asshole. And as a Canadian, I just want to say that had a group of children been acting that way around Canada Geese, this story would have had a much different ending. Not the asshole. And good for you for helping the ducks. Hard not the asshole. We have a restaurant here with a really big pond out front and just significant other many ducks. They stay there the entire year because the guests feed them. The restaurant provides seed for you so the guests aren't giving them bread and other stuff that is bad for them. The ducks will walk right up to your feet, no problem. Anyway, they have signs posted all over the area saying please do not chase or yell at the dicks, it stresses them out. Unfortunately, some people refuse to reprimand their kids' crappy behavior, but most of the time it's alright. I think you should have said something to them. Obviously not about the ducks, but if you'd waved and said, "Lovely day, isn't it?" you probably could have shamed them into leaving. LMAO, as a British person, this was the complete right thing to do. Not the asshole. And if the children do approach you about stealing the ducks, educate them because the parents clearly won't. You're not duck stealing, you're duck saving. Not the asshole. Thank you for rescuing the ducks. Also, since when is feeding ducks an aged activity? Not the asshole. I hate it when kids do this and their parents let them. Good on you, op, for protecting those little guys and gals. Ducks can and will attack if threatened, same as geese and swans, so you more than likely saved the ducks from an angry parent too. I really have nothing to say other than I really laughed while reading this and loved this story. Thanks for posting. Duck stealing, mother of the brats, and bloody cheeky, all gold ha. I was prepared for the worst. Too funny. You get an upvote just for the unsolicited duck pic comment alone. Also, not the asshole. Kids should indeed be taught not to run after, or otherwise harass animals. Not the asshole, but those duck pics are absolutely solicited. Not the asshole. Also quite possibly the most wholesome AITA. I especially love the duck and geese photos, thank you for brightening my morning. I do wish the parents had parented properly and taught their children to not yell at the ducks or demand they do something. What happens when the ducks just do duck things and the kids are disappointed? Will they yell more or just get bored? Hopefully they'd just get bored, but sometimes kids and adults get upset and escalate things. You did the right thing by offering the ducks a way out of the situation. Also, maybe please tell the nice duckies hello from across the pond for me. They seem like good ducks and I miss being near a duck pond. Not the asshole, but for anyone reading this, don't feed ducks bread, it's very bad for them and can kill them. It doesn't really provide them with nourishment but does make them full. Better foods are veggies, cooked potatoes, fruits, seeds etc. or bird food from the store. Info: did you properly tut at the parents? This directly influences my take on the situation. Come on now. You know the answer to this. Info: did you tut at them? Not the asshole, those children might have been seriously hurt if they aggravated the ducks. Lol, your fellow Brits have gathered to pass judgment upon you, sir, ma'am. It's a solid not the asshole from me. Shame it wasn't some swans, vicious little things they are. One little bite from them and those whippersnappers will be running crying back to their mum and learn don't mess with them. Not the asshole, I've stolen many ducks from kids being too boisterous. Also UK-based, defo love feeding ducks oats and people look at me like I'm weird for not having bread rolling on the floor laughing. I'm British and this is my favorite. Am I the asshole ever? Not the asshole. Regarding the politeness, I could never be British, you guys would destroy me. Somehow wondering if someone is talking shit about me is worse than any actual confrontation. Anyway, not the asshole. Unsolicited duck pic. I see what you did there. Cheeky, indeed. ETA. Not the asshole. You did good. Saving the ducks from ignorant people and kids. We have a local pond and one duck was super people friendly. I made friends when I was pregnant and hand fed him. I got angry people trying to do the same and getting niddled on. Was always amusing. WTF. Not the asshole. How could Anion think you were the asshole for rescuing the ducks from a kid harassing them? If they want their kids to interact with wildlife, they need to learn how to behave around wild animals. This is the most wholesome Am I the asshole post I've seen since joining this community. All of the responses, including yours, have been so wholesome and heartwarming to read. This was a good way to start my day. Obviously not the asshole, and thanks for saving the ducks from harassment. I second the suggestion that you talk to someone about putting up, "Do not harass, chase the ducks" signs. I'm sure the ducks would appreciate it. Not the asshole, it would suck if one of the kids accidentally hurt a duck with their weird behavior. The mom should have controlled her children and taught them how to respect wildlife. No one owns wildlife anyway, so you can't steal the ducks. Mr. Mrs. Steal Yo Ducks, this is your new name forevermore. And #X200B. Better watch your ducks around me straight herder fair she's. Read all of this with a British accent. 10 out of 10 would do. Again, you're not the asshole. Not the asshole. Maybe you should have added something about being kind to animals in the proper British way. Info: what type of duck? If it's mallards, then yes, you stole them, but Canadian geese cannot be stolen, and they can take care of pesky children. For once a wholesome and British post. Oi fellow mate, pop round for a brew. And #X200B. Anyway, not the asshole, kids should be taught to respect animals. The good old passive-aggressive loud comment, integral to British society. Often marked by a clear, "You're welcome," when someone does not thank you for opening a door, stepping aside etc. I am particularly fond of this. However, in this, you are not the asshole, ducks are communal property and they have free will. Not the asshole, the Council of Ducks made their decision, you are clearly the chosen one. Also, this post was incredibly wholesome. Unsolicited duck pic, "Ya funny bugger" laughs in British. That's not duck stealing, that's duck saving. Good on you mate, not the asshole. This should be under R entitled parents instead to call out that mum who thinks ducks exist only for her kids to torment. Not the asshole. What the bloody hell is wrong with these parents when their kids lose the plot and yet they have a problem with you? Sure. You're duck hijacking, British not American style, phew. Definitely threw a spanner in the works. But those kids need a lesson or two. But mate, best of British if you run into that flock again, and I'm not talking about the ducks. Not the asshole, they had their turn. One time I was at a crowded beach where a kid was aggressively holding a duck in his hands while it was obviously freaking out trying to get away. No one was doing anything. I'm a loud-ass American and an animal lover, so I just look at the kid and yell from 20 feet away, "Hey you, put that duck down now, you're obviously hurting it." Kid looked back at me like he had never heard anyone with authority speak to him before and put the duck down. I was fuming for the rest of the day. Poor ducky. Not the asshole. By the way, this post is so British you've made me homesick. From a Brit abroad. Not the asshole. I can't stand it when people run at waterfowl. You did a good thing. Upvote for unsolicited duck pic. These kind of am I the asshole posts are a nice refresher from all the drama you see here. Not the asshole. Kids shouldn't harass animals. 11/10 unsolicited duck pic 2. Not the asshole. Look, I quite literally have ducks in my backyard, someone's whim of the moment that became a trio of ducks in my care, and they go to whom and to where they choose. One does not attempt to interfere with the will of the ducks. That was ducking clever of you, mate. Good on ya. Thing is, even if the thread starter wasn't there at all, the ducks were not going to be hanging around the kids when they were yelling or running at them.